Brothers and sisters, and small children.
Your show now.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to,
You're calling back into a live
but we're going to fix it.
Reconnecting you now.
Daily, daily go get some show, and y'all down with the Thursday is when we get down. Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships now. And we are on point. We about to get all crazy, right? All up in this joint. Bringing McDonald's for all the kids. Now, by now, most of you have probably seen that video that's all on the internet, all on social media, about the man who is bringing a bag of food, of McDonald's food for his child, and he gets into it with his baby mom, who take the whole thing. Now, we're going to break down the video. We're going to break down the video. You know, y'all know I can't show the video, but we're going to break down the video, and then we're going to talk about it and talk about what the message of that video has meant to most of the people who have followed it. Now, honestly, I think that the video is fictional, and as we break down the video, I'll tell you why I think it's fictional. And but it really did strike at the emotions that a lot of people have about whether you have a responsibility to parents or the product of parents who may have shirked their own responsibility. Does one person have to step up to the plate and make sure that everybody eats and nobody ate? And I think that you got to take care of the one, but you got to take care of somebody else's kids, son. Actually, I like other women's kids, and I always have, and I always did. But everybody ain't like me. They wasn't raised the same. Yo, we kick game. We make sure the names always get spelled the right way, and we going to make sure we cause that up. So, bringing McDonald's for all the kids. Yeah, it's a funny thing that it was McDonald's that he was bringing, and that he said that he brings food for his son every day. We're going to break down the video. There's a lot to it. And not enough to it at the same time. But we're going to get with this thing, and the sun always shines. Word. So let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. The daily go get 'em show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Daily Go Get 'Em show, all up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Speaking of real men, that was one of the topics. That was one of the things that was spoken about this video. Now, there's a video going around. I posted the video, actually, and the video shows a man pulling up to where his baby's mom lives, or where she was at the time, because it was real questionable about where she was shooting from. Now, what I thought was interesting about the video, listen, y'all, first of all, I don't trust a whole lot of things that are on the internet. I've been known to break things down to see if it's live or it's Memorex. So many things on the internet nowadays are scripted, but they deal with real life situations, and they get us talking, and they get us taking sides, and they often separate us and make us look at other people sideways, like, oh, that's the way you think? Oh, you really feel that way? Oh, all right. Well, I can or cannot deal with you based on how you think. So, you know, we black people don't have any problems finding ways to separate ourselves more and more in any ways, whether we're talking about skin tone, hair texture, whether you have money or not, or wherever you're from, territorial interest, all kinds of stuff. But the way that we think, the way that we were raised culturally, separates us also. So in this video, what I noticed about the video from the beginning was she started talking about this man only having food for his son before he even pulled up. She had already started the camera and started talking about it before he was driving down the street. She couldn't see the bag of food yet, but she said that, and that's what I'm saying. There are so many things on the internet that are scripted that people take seriously. But once again, because it's dealing with real life situations, it doesn't always matter whether it really happened or not. But people do take it as being authentic. So if you want to play that game, well, let's play it all the way. Like I said, I noticed that one of the things about the video is that she was already talking about what he had or what he was going to do before he even set up. You know, she already had the camera going before he parked, before he was already ready to, before he got out of the car, before she saw him. So as he gets out of the car, he has this bag of food. It looks like a McDonald's bag in his hand, and he has a soda. And he was saying that, you know, this was for his son. And she proceeded to tell him that he was wrong for only bringing food for his son and not the rest of her 3 kids. And she goes on to say more about how if you're going to buy for one, you need to buy for all. And he was saying that the other fathers should have to feed their kids. Why do I have to take care of your other kids when I only have the one by you? And it sounded like the one that he had by her may be the last one. It doesn't sound like he may be the oldest one or the middle one or whatever. It looks like he's the anchor man. What I thought was interesting about the video, and what I thought made the video very unauthentic, was that he never mentioned his son by name. And I thought that was a telling point. When I first watched the video, I almost thought that he didn't refer to his baby mom by name, but he called her Lisa a few times. She never referred to him by his name. While in the beginning of the video and throughout the video, she was talking about how she was going to expose him. Now, listen, I posted the video on Monday. Yeah, I posted the video maybe Tuesday, Monday night, Tuesday morning, whatever. And I didn't really realize how much traction that the video was was putting out, how much it was gaining, because the video was obviously viral, very viral. People are talking about it all crazy, taking sides or whatever. But like I said, I noticed that she never referred to him by name. How do you expose somebody? How do you expose somebody to the whole world without saying their name? She never said his name. She nor him ever mentioned the name of her son or his son. Now, I've heard a lot of arguments between baby moms and baby fathers, and they always refer to their children by their name. Like, it would have been more real to me if he would have said, well, you know, let's say the boy's name is Aaron. Like, I'm here for Aaron, so I only have Aaron by you. Tariq, Daoud, and Ramik. Tariq, Daoud, and Ramik, I don't have nothing to do with them. But he never said anybody's name. And I thought that was weird. And plus, she kept saying that, you only have one by me, but your son has siblings. And in an argument, who says siblings? Like, there's certain things that let me know, oh, this video is scripted. It's making sure that certain things aren't said. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know. I like to hear from y'all. If y'all have seen the video, I'd like to know what y'all think about it. If you want to call into the show and express how you feel about it, I invite you to call in. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. So, yeah, y'all can call into the show. You can give your 2 cents. You know what I mean? Express the way you feel about the whole situation. Because it seems like it's coming down to, okay, yeah, he only has the obligation to take care of his son. But yes, he should be more considerate when bringing his son things like food, toys, things, or whatever. Because there are ways to make other siblings, especially if they're older siblings, especially if they're older brothers and sisters or whatever, there are ways to make them jealous of the youngest one. And this is, it can turn into an abusive situation. He getting picked on, he getting hated on, because his dad is active and nobody else's dad is active, that kind of thing. So there's a lot going on in the video, but like I said, I don't think the video is authentic. I think that it's scripted. Like I said, the whole sibling talk, the fact that he never refers to his child, his son, by name. He just kept saying, my son, my son, my son. Just as in terms of your breath, you know what I mean? I would say my name. Like, I'm not going to keep saying my daughter, my daughter, my daughter, my son, my son, my son. You mean Darren? Yeah, Darren. D? No nickname? Fathers always have nicknames for their kids. You know what I mean, little man? It didn't seem personal, So we can get into that. Make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show, and we're talking about bringing McDonald's for all the kids. How do y'all feel about it? Do you feel like that man should have been more considerate and brought food for all of the children? He says that he brings food for his son every day. I'm not going to hate. I think that at least he's an active father. I don't think that he's a active father who is concerned with his son's nutrition. McDonald's every day? I hope not every day. You know what I mean? In terms of finances and your health, it's not a good look. $2 menu in it every day, Happy Meal in it every day. I don't know. Doesn't sound like a good look to me. But the fact that he comes to see his son every day and make sure that his son is taken care of every day is definitely something that I think is commendable and something that's important and something that's missing in a lot of our children's lives today. And you know how it goes. There have been many times when children have had their fathers, or should I say, there have been many times when fathers were very active in their children's lives. And then through some type of turmoil with the mother, and I'm not saying that this is a good thing or justifiable thing, he may have started tapering off in his interaction with the child until it became nothing. We don't want to see it go down like that. I said we don't want to see it go down like that. We don't down like that. We don't want to see it down like that. So that's how it's going down. Okay. All right. So I see that we have callers on the line. I'm going to take the callers in the order that they requested to speak. So caller with the last numbers 8658. I'm going to take you first. And then caller with the last numbers 4828. I'm going to take you right after that. So let's get it popping, y'all. Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show, bringing McDonald's for all the kids. All right. So caller with the last numbers 8658. Welcome to the Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show. What's on your mind this evening? Wait a minute. Hold on. Blog Talk is just stupid. This stupid browser is just stupid. It's stupid. The circle is. Are you there? I think I hear something.
I'm here.
All right, let's go. What's on your mind? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm feeling like a real man should. You already Nizzo. Yizzo.
Yes, I did. I saw this video.
Uh-huh.
I tried to look at it objectively from both sides.
Okay.
Okay. This kind of pissed me off. And I can say that because as I watched this video, I don't know if anybody noticed where she was. There was a sign on the door that said visitors, but you couldn't see the rest of it. Like they might have to go to a different entrance or they had to ring a bell. So in my mind, being as crazy as I am, I'm thinking, is this broad live in a shelter? Does she live? Because, it just crossed my mind. The other thing was, I got to give a brother points. I really do. He shows up every day. And again, you're right. McDonald's is not a nutritious meal. But this broad got 4 kids. I looked at Homeboy's car, so he probably ain't making a whole lot of money. But he's trying to put the time in with this kid. Now, you figure she got 4 kids. This broad is probably collecting food stamps. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and she watched it also, and she said, with 4 kids, well, down south they call them chaps. But anyhow, she said, with 4 kids, this broad is probably clocking $1,000 a month in food stamps.
Easily.
Now, easily. So here's my problem. Yeah, the brother shows up with McDonald's, okay? But you're getting at least $1,000 in food stamps. What are you doing? But I bet you that hair was done. I bet you had eyelashes, and I bet them nails was popping. But now you want this man who brings his son, be it though it's not nutritional, but at least he knows that this kid is going to eat at least 1 meal that day. Okay? Now, I'm going to give the brother props for that. I'm sorry. Then, as I watched the video, she's telling him, you are no good father. You know I don't get my stamps until the 7th. 5 seconds later, 5 minutes later in the video, what she said. You know I don't get my stamps till the 11th. Babe, you can't have it both ways. You ain't getting them on the 7th, and 4 days later, you're getting them again. Okay, so that part of the story really threw me for a loop. But the disrespect, when that brother pulled up, she never respected him as a man. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
The first thing she did was she lit right into him. But you had already prefaced that if anybody watched the video, we knew what was going to happen because she was talking it before he even came.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she definitely jumped the gun.
Yeah, she was
talking about she was going to expose him. I'm like, expose him?
I'm going to expose him, and I'm going to do this. But you know what? In her just dumb, she exposed herself. Because to me, being a woman, it showed me you ain't much of a mother. First of all, you got 4 kids. 4 different, I'm going to say 4 different baby daddies. I don't know that to be true. But he worried about this one man bringing his son some food. What are the other 3 doing? And then the disrespectful hussy, and yes, I called her a hussy, she going to throw the damn food in the street.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I got to get a brother props. He was trying.
Yeah, now, he should get props.
When I said that, when I said that, a lot of people took her side. I don't see it because as a mother, and I've been a single mother, my kids always ate. I didn't give a damn if my ex-husband didn't bring me a loaf of bread. My kids ate. Who taught you that you couldn't go to the store and buy maybe a pound of hamburger, a box of spaghetti, and a jar of spaghetti sauce? Shoot, you could feed them kids off that for damn near a week if you make a big enough pot.
Listen, I ain't never heard.
It's called doing what you gotta do.
I don't care how broke you are. I ain't heard of no kids not eating, especially when the mom saying that she get food stamps. So if she's on food stamps, this man obviously works. If he's able to go to McDonald's every day, because you ain't swiping, he sure ain't swiping his EBT card. You know what I mean? To be able to buy that. But so you know, like I could take take it from the standpoint of this is what happens when you have a baby by a bum ass John. Now, I don't know if all of her children are by different fathers. You know what I mean? We know that at least one of them has a different father than the one that he's coming there to try to give the food to. So I tried to take my feelings, my socioeconomic feelings out of it. There have been times when all of us have probably not been making the kind of money that we wanted to make, but you make do with what you have until you can do better. And hopefully if you have children, that should be a good motivator to try to make you do better. You know what I mean? It's not where you start, it's where you finish. But if a man is trying to at least make sure that he holds it down for his children, then I can't be mad at that. Like, we don't know if that man has other children that he has to take care of, you know, in addition to the
he might be working at McDonald's. He might be working at McDonald's, okay? But he's putting forth the effort.
Yeah.
Where is her effort? Where is her effort?
Well, her effort was to try to expose him, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what have you exposed? What have you exposed? Like,
but you exposed yourself.
Yeah.
You a deadbeat mom. You sitting back on your butt collecting $1,000 a month for food stamps, okay? But you want to harass this man. You was gunning for him because you was ready for him. But I want to know this. Did you talk to the other daddies that way? And he had a good point. They're not my kids. Maybe if she talked to him a little bit better, he might would have bought enough for his kids, the rest of them kids. But when you come up that aggressive, she totally disrespected him as a man. I don't care who don't like it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, well, I don't think you can be. I don't think you can be proven wrong on that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have another opinion, you can't deny that you don't have to. Just like paying bills, you don't have to pay bills that you don't make.
No,
you don't. Yeah, I mean, you know,
and why is he the only one though?
Yeah.
Do you talk to the other baby daddies like that?
Yeah. Well,
This guy looked to me like he was trying to be an upstanding young man. Now, his whole demeanor, to me, I mean, he wasn't slinging that gangster rap talk and all that kind of stuff, you know. And he was trying to reason with her. But she had blown her fuse, and she was going after him with both barrels.
All of that, I don't get my stamps until the so your kids don't eat when you run, like what?
So
like that's the I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What
I say she's selling them.
What shoot? If you selling them, then you should still have enough to sell. You don't sell more than you're actually going to use. You sell the surplus.
She needed them lashes done. That hair had to be done. The nails had to be popping. She needed a pedicure, and she probably needed an outfit to hang out with on Friday and Saturday.
Listen, like I said, I think
you know how that goes.
I think the video. I don't think the video was authentic. I'm about 90% sure that the video was scripted, but it did bring to light.
She responded to that video. It's a video out there supposedly that she responded to in her defense.
Okay, in her defense, I mean, you can defend anything. But if we're going by the video, you know what I mean? Like I said, there's just certain things in the video that didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about it, like if she was serious about so-called exposing him or that he should do this or you know, or she should do that or whatever. Like it just, like I said, the fact that he never mentioned his son by name really caught my attention. What father?
He did, but then here's the thing. What caught my attention also about that was he needed to have that video. I would have took her butt right to CPS. I'm serious.
Well, we don't
This
know what
is how
happened
she's
after the video.
raising her kids.
We don't know what
You know?
happened after the video because it pretty much ended when she threw the food down. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't get to see what happened after that. We don't know about their interactions even before the video. We only have the video to talk about. So dealing with what we saw in the video, like I said, you know, the fact that she never called him by. She's talking about exposing him, so she's trying to make him look dumb, but she don't never mention him by name. And there's another thing about this video that I peeped. Now that the video has gained more traction, and when I first saw the video and posted the video, they had his face showing. You go to the video now his face is blotted out. His face is blurred out.
It's blurred.
It wasn't like that before. In the beginning, 2 days ago, you can see his whole face. So something has happened between now and then. You know what I'm saying? Something is going on. But hold on, because we have two other callers. Callers with the last numbers 4828 and caller with the last numbers 3685. So I'm going to take caller with the last numbers 4828 right now. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind this evening?
Hello to everyone on the call. Oh boy, this is loaded. Okay, I have a question. Did they ever show the female on the video? Did they ever show what she looks like? Okay.
I didn't actually see her. I saw her arm or something, and you heard her yelling.
Okay. So, oh boy. Yeah. So I didn't see the video. So I'm going strictly off of everything that I've heard and then applying it to whatever, I've witnessed around me. Personally, I have children with my cousin, and he has other children. Never have I bought something for our children and not made sure all of them had. Because one thing that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is whether or not when if he and this woman were together, whether or not he formed relationships with those other children. And so if he formed relationships with those other children, and now that they're not together, he's only bringing his child something, they may feel some kind of way.
And
in my opinion, if that were the case, it would be better, in my opinion, if he would have removed his son, and take his son to McDonald's and have that be their time.
But
that's just what I would do. I personally could not know that those other children that I formed relationships with was with an irresponsible mother. And honestly, if you're getting food stamps in the state of Pennsylvania, if you're getting food stamps for 2 children, they're still hitting you off with $400 or $500 worth of food stamps.
Exactly.
That means that she can get them food stamps for 4. No, you get them at the beginning of the month, right? But that means that she's not budgeting her food stamp money for her children. That's the answer to for herself. But in reference to him, I think it's admirable that he's making sure that he shows up for his son each and every day. However, there are other things to consider as far as like something that you mentioned, son, as far as the other children being jealous and those type of feelings that might fall upon his child. I don't know if he's really thinking about that, or if he even has the option of removing his child and spending that alone time with his son, and giving him the McDonald's.
Okay.
So he asked her, then send him out, and he can eat his food in the car. That really ticked her off.
Listen.
And I understand that you could have split the food in between, but I think she was making it, to me, and this is just my opinion, she was making it a point to make this man look very, very bad. That's just how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have my first child my first biological child until I was 35. So I've been with a lot of women who had kids before, during, and after. And one thing about being a man around another woman's kids is you get to know the kids very well. You get to know what kind of children they are. You get to know whether their brothers and sisters are selfish, whether they're helpful, whether they're loving, whether they're mischievous, whether they're just straight up bad demon seeds. You know, you get to know them. So you know what kind of environment you have your child in. So, you know, if that man knows what I know, if he's been around the other kids, he knows whether it's safe to just bring his child something versus making sure that he brings something for somebody else, because it's going to be sacrificed if he doesn't. Now, if this man been bringing his son only food every day, then you already know what it is. He been doing this. She picks this day to get all upset and bent out of shape about it, and is going to so-called expose him. But she didn't really expose him for what she didn't really expose him in the way that a woman would expose a man when she wants to expose a man on the internet. That's why I say the video is definitely scripted, but it's dealing with a real life issue. Should a man hold it down for all of the kids when he only has children by one? I mean, when he only has one child by a woman, should he hold it down for the other kids? And I think in certain situations, yes. In all situations, no. It may just not be. Even when parents are together, you don't always do for all what you do for one. Children have to understand that the world doesn't work that way. At work,
exactly.
At work, when somebody gets a raise, everybody don't get a raise. This ain't a union. In school, when you get a good grade on your test, on your paper, everybody don't get a good grade. It goes by what you've done, what kind of work you put in. So even if the parents are together and all of the children are by those parents, when one child's birthday comes up, everybody don't have a birthday that day. It got one person, it got one child's name on the cake. It's such and such's birthday. They getting presents, they getting the cake, it's their day. It's not everybody's day. And if you don't make sure that your children understand that, then they're going to have big problems adjusting to anything else in life later on. Right. Now, of course,
I wanted to. I'm sorry.
Of course, I think that a man should make sure that in certain situations, like when it comes to helping out in other things, maybe like Christmas or whatever, maybe back to school, things like that, things that really matter. I would think that, look, I'm at least contribute a little bit, especially if you know that the other fathers are unavailable in some way, whether they have passed away, whether they're in jail, whether they are deadbeat, whatever the case may be. When you have a child by a woman who is dealing with that situation, depending on what kind of woman that is, whether or not you better add in some extra coins, because she might be the type that spends everything that you get her on herself. You know what I mean? Rather than the children herself. So you know what you're dealing with. All right. So I know you wanted to say something. Go ahead and say it, and then I need to take caller with the last numbers 3685.
Okay, so when I speak with my ex-husband, when we talk about our kids, we usually say the boys. We don't necessarily always say, their names. We'll reference the boys.
How many do you have?
We have a lot. Including all of it.
You're gonna start using pronouns when
I'm just saying it's easy. But I'm being honest with you. We don't always use specific
okay.
names.
All right. Okay.
I'm just saying. especially once you get past 2 or 3, you just be like that one and this one. Yeah, it's just easier that way. But
Right.
also, I think it's ridiculous that people would. It seems like, even though I didn't see the video, I did see a lot of people posted it, and I saw some of the comments, and I was like, I have to go back and watch that video because I was noticing a lot of women emotionally invested in this video, and just from the title and the way that it was explained, I shared my opinion on it. Would I bring food for the other kids? Sure, I would bring a little something, or I would remove my child from the home and be like, hey, I came to pick up, Junior or the boy or the girl, whatever, and we would go off, into the sunset for a little while, just so the other kids won't feel some kind of way. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous that so many women are like, you don't understand, this isn't right for the other children. That says to me that these women who are emotionally invested in a situation that doesn't even pertain to them, they're not holding those other 3 fathers, or let me stop, 1 to 3 fathers, accountable for their own children. You're saying, you're actually in your mind, your twisted mind, you actually believe that this one man is responsible for all her damn kids.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Unless they were together for years. Let's say they were little babies when they got together, and that's the only father that they've known. I think it's fucked up. If that was the case, and he just said, "And we're not together anymore, so fuck the kids," I would think that's fucked up, because now you formed a bond with those children over a time period, and now they don't mean anything to you. And what does that say to those young children? But if he did not, if that is not the case, and he met at the club, maybe they went out on a few dates, and he knocked her up, and they had this kid, like, nobody's gonna say anything about the other daddy.
Well,
there's nothing. That doesn't see that I can understand.
I agree.
It was one-sided.
I agree with what you're saying. At the same time, honestly, from a man's standpoint, and actually just from a logical standpoint, the only way I can get on that man is if he totally abandons all of his kids, his included. If he still takes care of his, he's still doing what a father is supposed to do. He may not be doing what
he is.
I'm just saying,
I don't disagree with that.
Because
it's messed up to form a relationship with a child and then just abandon that child.
Parents.
That's all
I understand the impact of that. I do. I totally understand the impact of that. My thing is, parents are to be held accountable for so many things. You know what I mean? Parents have to make sure that they protect the welfare of their children, and that's in any way possible. So if a woman is abusing a man verbally, mentally, emotionally, or whatever, she has to understand that there are consequences for that. You got a man that's holding it down, whether he's doing it voluntarily or not, but he's holding it down as best as he can, for you and yours. And now you putting extra responsibility on him that may make him say, well, you know what? I only owe for this one. So guess what? This is all you get. It's just like when maybe before you were paying your bills early, but you found out that sometimes paying my bills early makes them take the money out way before it's due, and you done messed up my account. Now, guess what happens now? No more automatic bill pay for you. You'll get it on that date because you abused the privilege when I let you go ahead. All right, I gotta take the caller with the last number is 3685. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind this evening?
What's going on, brother? It's Chris Blocker. How you doing?
My man, Blocky Block.
Uh-oh.
Good to hear from me, some you. What's up, my man?
Man, just trying to not kill anyone or be killed by anyone. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be a decent father to my kids.
No doubt. And I know a little of your story, yeah.
Yeah, what you don't. Well, what I probably haven't discussed with you, because we haven't really talked for a minute.
Yeah.
Like my kids are with me.
Mhm.
You know, so it's a different dynamic. It's not me like, oh, okay, look, I'm gonna be gone for a couple weeks. I'm gonna go out there and visit them, and I gotta stay in a hotel, and they're gonna stay with. You know what I mean? It's just different.
Yeah.
So, and I agree. You know, so getting on topic, I agree with you that something about that just didn't feel right. Like I'm looking at it, and one of the things that I did pick on is I know that, I mean, I've got kids with one woman, you know, their mother, one woman. So even if I'm talking about them, I'm going to say, and I guess it would be a different dynamic if there were other kids and they had different fathers or whatever. I don't even know how to relate to that. But so in some ways, it's really not something that I really necessarily have an opinion on. More like I would definitely have mentioned an individual's child's name, especially if it was my child. But again, that's not a situation I've ever been in with, you know, the mother of my kid has multiple baby fathers or whatever. So I, you know, I can't really relate to it. But I know that for me, I've before I got married, I dated two women that had children, and the one tried to use me to make her daughter's father jealous. I never spoke to her again, and then several years later, I wound up being with somebody long term that had a child, but there was no father involved. You know, so now she's a grown woman. We still, you know, correspond and we talk to each other, but that was never my child. I took care of that child. I provided for that child, but that was never my child. So she was already 11 when I met her mother. You know what I mean? So that's a different dynamic also. Even if, and I believe as you believe that this was scripted or something, it's not real, but the responses that you're getting from people is real. You either have people that, you know, because we're in a society right now where everything is side with me or you're against me.
Right.
You know, you got women, you know, like, well, I always feed all the kids. Yeah, but again, 90% of the time in the Black community, not in the white community, but in the Black community, the mother's going to wind up with the kids, and the mother's going to have the legal system leveraged like a cudgel over his head. If he doesn't do something, he's going to get smacked in the head.
Right.
You know, I was paying more direct money to my ex-wife. I spent actual prison time because of child support. But I was giving more than the court was demanding me. I just felt like, I'm not giving you money for you people to make money off of. I'm giving it directly. They were like, no, you got to give it to us. I said, well, you do what you got to do. So for me, I would like, let's just suppose for a moment that this is a real situation. I don't believe it is. I agree with you. I don't believe it is. But let's suppose that it is.
Right.
Why would you, if I'm Omar, why am I going to put myself in a position to actually procreate with somebody that already had 3 kids? I don't see that, but I know people do it. But if I'm talking to you and you're talking to me, you're not going to think at any point in time that I'm going to procreate with her. We may not even hit, because it's like, yeah, that's a lot. You got 3 kids, and they're from different people. Yeah, I'll take the L on that one. But again, that's speaking from my perspective. But then that leads into these other people's perspectives where they're going, well, I always bring stuff for the kid. Well, you know, that's a manufactured insufficiency that we have. That's not something that your grandparents dealt with. I mean, yes, there may have been divorces, but there were very few. Before 1970, Black people almost never got divorced. Now, they separate and live down the street from each other for 30 years, but there was never divorce. And that's just something that I guess we've, like, at this point, skipped that part. Well, so we won't marry, so we won't have to divorce. So it's this genetic petri dish out there where everybody's related to everybody, but nobody treats each other like they're related.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Give me your take on that.
You know,
So can I say something real quick?
hold on a second, because we really got to get on up out of here. So I got to do this thought, and then we got to get on up out of here. But I'm going to tell you like this, Chris. My feelings on the matter is this: you have to know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with a woman or a man, whether you have children with them or not. You have to understand who you're dealing with. You know.
Right.
You know, just like they say, birds of a feather flock together. If you're dealing with, okay, I'm going to say, if I'm dealing with a woman that I see has little or no respect for any of the other men in her life, whether it be fathers, brothers, uncles, male cousins, old heads, or friends from around the way. And I also see that she has multiple children by multiple fathers, or even just one child by one father. I'm paying close attention to what their interactions are like, and how she treats them, because I know that the more time you spend with somebody, you know, certain things are going to start to happen. So the opportunity or threat or whatever you might call it is going to present itself somewhere down the line for the two of you to procreate. Or even if you don't, even if you just get into a relationship with her, a deeper relationship with her, you're going to have to deal with her just from an emotional standpoint, and you have to decide for yourself: are you going to be able to deal with this person that you're dealing with? A lot of men are just so happy to be dealing with a quote unquote bad bitch, and they look at it like, yeah, well, she treated that dude like she treated him because he was a sucker, and I ain't a sucker, so you know, I'm gonna be all right. And you ain't gonna be all right. You're gonna be messed up. It's just like when a woman deals with a man and he has a bunch of kids by a bunch of different women, and he ain't taking care of the kids, whether he has a bunch of excuses or not. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, he's not financially or emotionally or morally supporting his children. So what makes you think that yours is going to be any different? You think because yours is the last one and he's learned all of his lessons, you know, leading up to yours might be the last one for right now. It may not be the last one in 5 years. You know what I mean? So many times our ego doesn't let us take the real situation into consideration. We want what we want so bad, and our ego makes us want to think that we are worthy of better treatment so much more than anybody else, that we directly put ourselves in a position to suffer at the hands of somebody else, and we directly gave them the chance to do that. And that's a lot. Even that is a bunch of Monday morning quarterbacking, because at the end of the day, in the middle of the day, you go where your heart tells you to go. You really do. But before your heart gets into it, your brain should be doing the work. You know what you was dealing with. You know how many people, you know how many men have put their real thoughts and feelings aside over a fat ass and some big titties? Well, all right, dude. You know what that's about. You know what that's about. All right, now you paid for that. Now you're going to have to make sure that you keep up the payments for it. You know what I mean? You got the car, you put the gas in it, you keep up those maintenance appointments. But listen, Chris, I gotta get on the body here. You know, I work at night now, so I have to keep these
Yes, sir.
shows tight. But yo, man, it was really good speaking to you. You know, I gotta call you offline, man. I gotta get with you. I ain't holler at you in a good minute. But yo, you take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll get with you later.
All right now.
All right.
All right.
Good stuff, man. That's what I like. I wish we could have callers like that every day. That would be nice. Nice. All right, y'all. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 30th. Last day of June, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them, making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Marion Rania, turning 32 years old today. And also Tanisha Anointed Thomas turning 35 years old today. And my girl Kelly Cunningham going all the way back to the 1990, turning 52 years old today. And also Vernon Preston, my man Vernon Preston, a.k.a. DJ Just Death, turning 53 years old today. And last, but no, not last, hold on. My man Desmond Patterson, comedian. Desmond Patterson, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, comedy promoter extraordinaire, Ricarda Burrell, happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious June 30th. I hope that today finds you a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. You rock on and do the damn, do the damn thing. Make sure y'all turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on, and do the damn, rock out, rock on, and do the damn, rock out, rock on, and do the damn thing. To do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. At the end of the day, whether we agree with the man in the video, the woman in the video, or if we just agree with the concept of the video, whether the video is real, authentic, whether it's fake, phony, whatever, it sends a clear message to what we are going through and how we feel, and a lot of our cultural differences within the same culture. Black Americans swear that we all have the same culture, but we agree that we don't all come from the same place. We didn't all grow up in the same house. So we may have a lot of things that we can identify with. But when it comes to the way that we raise our children, one thing that we don't appreciate is somebody telling us how we have to do things. But the thing is, when you have a child with somebody else, then they have at least 50% of the say-so about how your children are going to be raised, whether you are around or whether you're not. So, brothers, this video should definitely be a lesson for you to take into consideration when you decide who you are going to let them nuts fly with. Listen, we got the ending of reversal of Roe v. Wade out there, but abortion is something that happens after the fact. You ain't got to get nobody pregnant, but if you do, just know that even if the baby don't come, you're going to have to deal with whatever that woman is expounding to you, you know, if you're going to be with her or if you're going to end it. There's going to be some shit. So make sure that the woman or the man that you deal with, if you're a woman, make sure that there's somebody that you think that you can live with. Make sure that the basic principles that you would need, especially when it comes to parenting, make sure that those building blocks are there. Those resources are there. That tolerance is there. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. Did I already say that? Don't matter. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night on that Friday, going into the 4th of July weekend, 3-day weekend. It's a good look. So let me get y'all out of here. Blog Talk, let me get you out of here. Yeah. And for my YouTubers, I said for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on
Thank
the
you
other
for
side,
using
my
Blog
boys.
Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to share the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel, y'all, man. One love. Yeah, do you know? Holla.